So we got three setups: NZD USD, which is going with the floater market. We got Euro GBP being a counter trend setup, and then GBP CHF being a counter trend. We're going to go through the counter trends first and then go with the floater market, since the floater market will be our number one trade for tonight, or number one pair for tonight. So Euro GBP, we can see clear as day price go from this bullish to bearish due to the breakout towards back bullish. And keep in mind, everything that's happening in between our lower high and our lower low are just pivot points. It's not any type of structure because it hasn't presented us with a break towards the upside or a break towards the downside. So we're just pivot points. But the last pivot point we formed presented us with the move towards the upside, giving us the breakout of this structure, now having the breaker structure here and our new higher low being here, since it's the last previous low point that gave us the breaker structure. And then price formed this retracement, which you can see is getting established now. Well, if I drag this out down here, we can mark this off like so. We have the recent breaker structure happening around here on the daily, and we have our new higher low being here. We can obviously see what? We can see prices in a bullish trend, but as price formed a retracement, we got back below our area of interest. Well, if I go back towards the trading tips, this is our counter trend scenario. We are in a bullish market. Price gave us the break, retest, but we are underneath our zone, meaning I'm looking for sales back towards the downside because we possibly got some type of bearish engulfing or a bearish variation pattern that got us back underneath and gave us a 4-hour breaker structure. But knowing that we're in a counter trend scenario, the daily looks like this. As you can see, if I go there, we're here, we have the break, retest underneath our zone. If I go back, we have the break, retest underneath our zone. Okay, cool. We're in a counter trend scenario. So knowing that we are in a counter trend setup, what time frames am I supposed to use to break down the market? Well, we're in a counter trend setup. We use the 4-hour, 1 hour, 15-minute, and the 5-minute time frame. Starting on the 4-hour time frame, I obviously know that the daily is bearish. We are at my area of interest on the daily time frame, and we know that we are in a counter trend scenario. So the 4-hour time frame in this case has to be bearish, since my my daily is bullish. And looking at the 4-hour time frame, you can see how price went from this bullish to bearish trend due to the breakout of these higher lows. When price presented us with this breaker structure, we can also see the 1 hour perform the exact same thing, giving us the clean break on the 4-hour and a clean break on the 1 hour. So now, knowing that the 4-hour gave us a break towards the downside, where can I see price retrace to? This is when I go towards a 1-hour time frame. I identify that we are in a bearish trend, which we are, and now I simply find where is the last break of structure. Well, on the 1-hour time frame, we can see that price went from this bullish to bearish trend due to the breakout of these higher lows. But the last structure break happened around here. This is when I grab that box tool, I drag out my zone, and we count the rejections. We can see we have well over 2 rejections. Now I simply wait for the 5-minute time frame to go from bearish to bullish in order to tap back into my area of interest. Once price can tap back into my zone, since we have already showed rejection towards this daily structure, we're underneath, I will simply wait for the 5-minute time frame to show rejection towards my 4-hour zone, get above, and then get back underneath, presenting me with the breakout towards the downside, showing me selling pressure is stepping back into play, stops just above, and then targets, like always, since I'm using my 1-hour structure zone, my 1-hour area of interest, I'm using my 1-hour lows to target for my profit level. Next, we have GBP CHF. This is the exact same thing, just in a bearish trend. We can see price had this beautiful push towards the downside. We have the breaker structure happen around here. Price then had the retracement and then another push, finding rejection towards our recent lower low. Well, if I go back towards the trading tips section in the Discord, you can see price is at number 3. We have a break, retest, another push, we find rejection. I'm looking to take buys back towards the upside. This is the exact same thing. Instead, we have 2 rejections, and then we have a third rejection that just got stacked on. this is the same exact thing. So now, knowing that we're in a counter trend setup, I know I use the 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, and the 5 minute time frame. Well, on the daily time frame, I saw that we are at our lower low. We've already formed the rejection. On top of that, if I take the drawings away, we can see this bullish variation, bullish engulfing, getting settled on the daily time frame as well. This allowed the 4 hour time frame to present us with the break of structure. Again, you can see a clean inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? We have the recent breakout of this neckline, the recent breakout of these recent higher highs on the 4 hour time frame, and I can expect the 1 hour time frame to be in sync, which we are. So we have the 4 hour break of structure. Where can I see price retrace to? Go towards the 1 hour time frame. We know that we're in sync with the 4 hour being in a bullish trend. I simply find the last recent structure break, and if we draw out our structure, we can see price perform the last structure break around here, and we get that box tool. We drag this zone out towards the left, count out the rejections. You have well over 2. Simply wait for the 5 minute to work its way back down, going from bullish to bearish. Tap back into your zone, wait for the flip back bullish, looking something like this. Find your entry off of the break, ride your trade back towards your 1 hour structure highs. And then last, we have NZD USD being my number one for tonight. You can obviously see we are in the floor of the market. We have the daily perform the break of structure. We have the retest of the structure. I'm looking to continue the move towards the downside. Knowing that we are trading with the trend, the trading tips, we go towards this picture. You can see trading with the trend. I use the daily, 4 hour, 30 minute, and the 15 minute time frame. Knowing that, I simply identify that the daily is in a bearish. Okay, cool. The daily presented me with the recent break of structure. Okay, cool. Now, where can I see price retrace to? Keep in mind, we are trading with the trend, meaning we use the 4 hour to identify our zone. We see the break of structure happen on the daily. I can expect the 4 hour to perform the same thing. On the 4 hour time frame, you can see the 4 hour had the clean break of structure of its own. So the daily, where can I see you retrace to in order to capitalize on this position? One, I have to find my area of interest on the 4 hour time frame. Well, we see the recent break of structure happened here on the 4 hour. We're already in sync, being in a bearish trend with the daily time frame, so I can use this zone. I drag my box out towards the left and I count my rejections. We have 1, 2, 3. If I drag it towards the left, we have 4, 5, 6 rejections towards this area of interest, well over 2. Now, I simply wait for the 15-minute time frame to present me with a break of structure. You can see we've already went from this bearish to bullish trend in order to tap back into my area of interest. Price on the higher time frame, such as a daily time frame, has already showed me the rejection towards the recent daily break of structure. You can see that here. Take away the drawings, you can see it even more clear. So now, seeing that the daily has showed the rejection while also respecting our 4 hour lower high, I can expect price to continue towards the downside come later tonight. And like you all know, since the 15 minute, we are bullish. I'm simply going to be waiting for the breakout of my higher lows, getting back underneath my 4 hour zone. I find my entry like so, stops just above, and since I'm using my 4 hour area of interest, I'm using my 4 hour lows for my targets, looking something like that. So we're gonna see what happens tonight. I'm excited for these 3 pairs. They all look good, but NZD USD will definitely be my number one since we are going with the overall trend of the market. Euro GBP still looks good. GBP CHF also still looks good, but NZD USD looks like we are ready to take off when we are in a time session to trade. So let's see what happens, and like always, I'm gonna update y'all with the extra. Alright, so we got updates. Took NZD USD out of it because we broke my 4 hour highs. So Euro GBP and GBP CHF ended up having that retracement back down towards those areas of interest. You can see the 4 hour and the 1 hour were still in sync. It had a beautiful retracement towards this area. Unfortunately, on GBP CHF, the 5-minute time frame, we don't have any type of break or structure just yet. Well, we are in this bearish trend. We do have this lower high. I would be expecting price to give me a break here, and then you can possibly see that continuation on the 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, so on and so forth. And yeah, we'll go from there. But right now, my eye is on Euro GBP. Same thing we broke down in the previous clip. You can see the 4 hour, 1 hour, we're still in sync. We have a beautiful 3-bar reversal forming. 5-minute time frame, we have now flipped from bullish to bearish, which you all can see. We were trending in this bearish trend. Price then went bullish. We had the double top formation, push, higher high, break of structure, another break of structure, breaking past these higher lows, the retracement, and we can possibly now see price continue towards the downside. So I'm waiting on the next break of structure to take place before I start looking for entries. So price looks good. I like how price is forming. Yeah, we look good. We can see price close above my body candles over here, so I'm gonna use that as that break of structure. I do like that. All right, so I'm gonna cut y'all back on once we actually enter for a position. So we are in for a position. We got everything set up. It filled me in lower than I wanted, but it is what it is. I wanted to get filled in right here. Filled me in at 87,171, so a little bit lower. That's why my take profit a little bit lower than my original. Floating $27 in drawdown. So let's see how this trade plays out. All right, y'all, so we're still in the trade, Euro GBP. You can obviously see we got news. Today's NFP news happens at 8:20 in the next 4 minutes. So what I'm gonna do, since I'm about to walk my wife to the car, I'm gonna walk her to the car. I'm gonna leave this running. All right, y'all, so truth be told, I think it's at 8:25 because market opens at 8:30 Central Standard Time. So I guess I'm gonna cut y'all back on at 8:30, 8:20. I'm assuming. Are we on the right time? So yeah, I guess I'm gonna wait. All right, I'm gonna cut y'all back on at 8:30. So y'all stay put. All right, y'all, looks good. So NFP is actually going with us, is helping us with this trade. Same thing, GBP CHF. You can see how entry slowly is presenting itself, but it's not going to be the cleanest. But yeah, Euro GBP, everything looks smooth. Let's see how we can continue to carry out. Updates will be coming later on. I thought it was going to be a bigger move than this, but I'm happy to see this huge rejection towards this zone, and then we have some bearish pressure step in. That is a good sign. So let's see what happens now. All right, y'all, so price ended up taking us out due to over leveraging the account. The balance is at 85. I got another position, same trade set up. Just decided to open up another position since it didn't hit stop loss. That's the only reason I entered my second position, due to price taking us out because of over leverage. That's fun. That sucks, bro. This is such a good setup, bro. I hate when that happens. All right, so I'm gonna wait, see how price reacts, go from there. All right, bro, so it's like ups and downs right now. What I'm figuring out is that I can't over leverage on this account because it automatically takes me out every single time, and I don't want it to automatically close my positions because we would still be floating at that 161 account balance. So what I did was I entered another position. We have only risking like 40% of the account because that's what I can risk per trade without automatically closing me out. So risking around 40%. If we win this trade, we'll be back at our original starting balance, 161. Let's see how price plays out. I would love to see again some type of rejection. Close, well, price just closed. Some type of rejection, bro, and then some fall. So let's see what happens. I'm still in this trade. It sucks because I would be up more, but I'm doing this with y'all. Obviously, I can't flip it, so we just got to switch it around. We're still going to flip it. We're still going to flip the account, but now we have to take a step back. We can't go like as heavy as I wanted to, leverage-wise. So we got to cut back on the leverage, risk only like 40% of the account, looking to get like 80% in return per trade, which means I'm risking, like, in realistic terms, I'm risking 1% to get back 2%. That's what I'm doing. I just got to cut down on my percentage on the account that I'm risking. 40% each trade. That's what we're doing. This is the trade we're in. updates will be coming. I just got back from the gym. As we can see, well, as you all can see, we're having the break of this neckline, which is good. We formed this double top off of the 1 hour, again forming a beautiful rejection towards this area of support slash resistance. Going towards the 4 hour, we can see this beautiful bearish engulfing getting formed on the higher time frame. We have the break, retest, bearish engulfing. I can expect price to continue to move. Today, I don't know, we'll probably swing this into next week, but price does look good. And I added $20. All right, so y'all can obviously see I'm at $87. I ended up adding $20. In the previous clip, we was at 60, but I closed out because, like I told y'all, we was over leveraging. And I'm only supposed to be risking between 40 and 45% per trade. So I just closed out, and yeah, we're just going from there. So right now we're at $87 because we started at 160. We started at 161. I was risking around like 125, 130. Hold on, let me close the door. So I was risking around like I said, 125, 130 on a 161 account balance, a dollar account balance, and it just closed me out. So we lost around like $77, took us to $87 or $84. And then we opened that other position like we just talked about. We closed because I was over leveraging again, and I didn't want the market or the broker to close me out because I was going to be irritated. So I ended up closing that one, opened another position, added $20 so I can just stay at that $84 from the original loss, that $77. So put us back at the $84 mark, risking around 40%, 45% on this trade. And if this trade does go and hit overall targets, we should be back at the account balance at 170, so basically like a $9 gain, which is better than being down. So this will be just like it would be our winning trade, but due to over leveraging, we ended up losing $77, which was stupid. So I'm just going to take the account, if we can, take the account back to 170, and then come next week, well, come the following trading week, we will find another position and then look to take that 170 towards $400. So we'll go from there. What up, y'all? Welcome to another week. This is the same trade, Euro GBP. This is another week. You can obviously see we was holding price over the weekend. This is my position that price filled me in on my broker account, so don't worry about this. And then my take profit, don't worry about it. So right now, we've been holding this trade. We ended last week around here, that Friday. We just opened up this Sunday around 4 p.m. because our price had this huge move towards the upside, rejecting this area of support slash resistance. And then if I just drop down towards the lower time frames, this is nothing but price showing me a beautiful break of structure. You can obviously see price give us a little mini break of structure inside of this overall bearish trend. We're having another bearish break on the 1 hour time frame. Price looks like it's having a retracement, another rejection towards this area of interest, and we can possibly now see price continue towards the downside. And if I drop towards a 30-minute time frame, you can see clear as day the 30-minute go from this. Again, we have the overall bearish trend, but inside of our overall trend, we have this mini trend going on. I'm not really worried about price going towards the upside. I still see price rejecting from the zone, which is good, and so I am expecting price to push based off of this minor structure inside of my overall structure, just because we see the bullish to bearish flip, indicating possibly that bearish momentum can step back into play. And then lower time frames, you can see that we are bullish, but as soon as price gives me a break past these lows, this is why I have this alert set up, we're looking good. So let's see what happens. We're still holding this trade. London session should be happening in the next 2 hours, so let's see if London have some type of push towards targets, and we'll go from there. So updates in the AM, y'all. Oh yeah, let me show y'all that account. We're still sitting at $89 price right now. We are $5 in profit. I think my stuff is frozen. Sitting $5 in profit, so I'm about to go to sleep. I'm tired. Morning, y'all. So you can obviously see we're floating around $50 in profit. Price has had a push. We hit targets, but by the time I woke up, we have formed this pullback. So I'm still holding this trade due to us performing another break of structure on the 4 hour, and then we're still maintaining in this bearish trend. I do see price having a break, retest, and a continuation, because if I go towards the 1 hour, we're in this same beautiful bearish trend. So all time frames are still bearish. All time frames look really, really good. I'm simply going to hold, see what we can do. I'll say New York session, so like 8:30, 9 o'clock. We'll see what happens. If we can have another extension back down towards the downside, I will close this trade. So let's see what goes on. We're at $50. We're looking at least $100, I believe, for overall TPs getting hit. So let's see what happens. I'll update y'all here in a minute. Alright, y'all, so we are currently pushing. Price is doing exactly what I expected. We have the break past the overall lows. Price then has that pullback towards that last structure point. At the moment, it's looking like price is going to form that bearish engulfing, which is good. It's something I want to see. We're still waiting, though. We're still waiting. You can see how price is having some type of start of an extension back towards the downside, but we'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, everything still looks good. Recent break of structure on the 4-hour. Prices came back to retest that structure. We can possibly see price continue now. I would love to see that. That's what I'm expecting to see, so that's why I'm still holding. We are now floating around $62. I think it was at like $30, $40 earlier. So flirting around 64. We're back basically at the starting balance, which we said last week, of 160, 161. So it's good but bad, because like I told y'all, if we didn't over leverage that first position, we would definitely be up higher on the account, because we started at 161, right? Let's delete this. We started at 161.47. I risked around 125, but price didn't close me out risking the whole 125. I was at 161.47. Price closed me out with a $77 loss. This is where we had the $84 balance, and then I got back in for another position risking heavy amount, probably around 40 or 50, again over leveraging. No, I was risking around like 60, 65 on the account, over leveraging once more. I didn't want to see price close me out automatically, so I closed my trade with a $12 loss, or I think it was probably a $20 loss. Who knows? I was at $60. The account was like at 60, I'll say 18, and I took another position, trading position, this time 40%. So risking 45%. I was risking around 27. In reality, I upped it to around 35 because I added $20 back in my account. Therefore, now I'm sitting at an $86 account balance. I'm risking around 45%. I risked around $38 on this trade. So in total, we're looking at a 1 to 2.42, or in reality, this is the overall 2.72. So if price hits our overall take profit, we're looking at a $105 gain. That's not bad, because it still puts us above where we started. So we'll possibly be like at, what I say, $100 gain, right? So yeah, we'll probably be like 190, almost 200. If we can hit 200, I think that would be perfect. Even though we didn't double the account, we basically took $60 or 200, so that's still good. And yeah, but say if I didn't over leverage at the beginning of the account when we was at 161.47, if I'm risking what I need to risk to, you know, compound over time and flip my account, I would be risking, let's see, $72, $73. So on this trade alone, I probably would have made back, we won almost $200 on this trade, which would have got the account to roughly around $400. So it's okay. Right now we're still in the green. We're still in the green. Prices, you know, still pushing towards our overall direction. I'm not really worried about the money. Of course, the money is going to come over time. Right now, it's just more about the strategy and sticking to the plan. And obviously, y'all see we stuck to the plan this whole entire time, and price is just playing out how we broke it down. So let's see if we can hit full target or full TP in the next, I'll say, hour and a half. I do, like I said, I see price continuing just based off of structure alone. Everything you can look is in a beautiful bearish trend. So let's see what happens. Like I said, we're still in this trade. Everything looks good, and we are currently floating $66. I'm gonna update y'all here soon. All right, y'all, decided to close 2% gain. You see the account now. We are at 145 in the account. So I closed out of fear. I didn't want to see price reverse. Based off of a 1 hour time frame, I started to see this little 3-bar reversal. We got this pin bar, so I didn't really like that. And I saw this bullish candle getting formed. So seeing that, I decided to close. We got the 2% gain on the account. So we got the account back to the original balance, which is really, really good. Now it's just about me following through fully with that plan. So on the 4 hour time frame, like I told y'all, at 4 in the morning, we hit our targets, but I was asleep. Around 7 o'clock, I saw price having this huge pullback, so I just allowed price to have a pullback. Came 8 o'clock, and then the next candlestick being this 12 o'clock candle, I wanted to see price either go back towards targets or come back down towards this area wick like we're doing right now, forming a rejection towards this area, and possibly see price continue to go back towards the upside. So yes, I didn't fully wait until that 12 o'clock candle, but I didn't want to be greedy and, you know, lose all the profit that we just gained back. So I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to just be grateful that this was a winning setup. So we're going to go from there. We got that 2% gain, like I said, sitting at 145. So the original balance now is 145. We started at 161, took this setup. So we took the same setup, just over leverage. Price closes out, dropped down to $60, and now we're back at 145. So I do see price still continuing, because like I said, every single time frame is bearish. Like everything's telling me down. So I closed out of fear. Like I said, I saw price on the 1 hour forming this 3-bar reversal, and I saw this huge wick rejection towards the original take profit zone. So I didn't want to be greedy. We're back above in the account, so I'm good. Next trading pair, y'all just stay tuned for that. And yeah, y'all really just tune in for the next upload, because that's what's going to be the next upload, the next trade. So yeah, that's it for this. Like I said, we got the account back towards 145. We had the original starting balance being 161, so we're down $15. Well, $16. So yeah, we're good. We're good. We're in a good position. Got the account back to 145. Took it from 60 to 145. We're going to take 145, look to double it to get to around like 360, close to 400, and go from there. So y'all tune in to the next episode. Let me know what y'all think about this. If you learned something, let me know. If you like it, let me know, because it's coming some more. Oh, boy, I didn't even try to do that. That's how I really get in that studio for real. All right, I'm going to catch y'all. Y'all stay blessed. Deuces.